Welcome back to AniQuest. This is my recap for the anime Ashura. If you enjoy my recaps, please think about subscribing. We see a giant golem wrecking the city, and our boy, a superhuman swordsman from another world, wants to stop it because he finds it exciting. A girl tries to explain to him that no one will appreciate him for killing it and suggests that they should run away. But our boy is bewildered. He believes that it would only be the end if the legendary golem were unbeatable. These words remind Yuno of her friend. She regrets leaving her friend behind and acknowledges that she cannot ask Saojiru to fight for her. Nevertheless, Saojiru couldn't care less about her. The golem is staring at him, and Saojiru finds it exhilarating. The two mythical beings lock eyes, and our hero charges forward. He swiftly takes down the smaller golems that come at him, effortlessly swinging his sword. Every golem is turned into a meat shawarma. Yuno can't believe how fast Saojiru is. The massive golem attempts to punch him with its left arm, creating a massive cloud of dust. However, Saojiru leaps into the air just before the blow lands and runs up the golem's arm. The golem activates its traps and summons even more small golems, but Saojiru remains undeterred. He jumps down, luring the golems into falling, and impales the huge golem with his sword. Then he leaps and slices through the small golems, using their bodies to propel himself into the air, finally reaching the shoulder of the colossal golem. The gigantic golem swings its arm, sending Saojiru flying into the sky. The golem opens up its chest and starts casting a massive fire spell that obliterates everything in its vicinity. Yuno can't believe that a golem of such size could wield such destructive magic. However, suddenly, the golem's head is sliced off and tumbles down. We see before this incident, Yuno was making her way to school when Lucelles caught her interest. They ended up in the same class, where the professor explained that word arts are techniques that mess with nature using the power of words. These words arts can only be used in their world, not in the visitor's world. Yuno and Lucelles exchanged glances and became friends. Lucelles begged Yuno to teach her force arts since she was good at it. The two live in Nagan Labyrinth City, which is a town of scholars and explorers that was built at the center of the Great Labyrinth of Kiyazuna. In another place, a unit of soldiers works together to defeat a rogue robot, and they successfully defeat Robert. Yuno supervises Lucelles while she successfully practices her word art. In a different part of the city, the two later get some food and make their way outside the city to get a view of the labyrinth. Lucelles points out how it has so many secrets and relics that they could never fully unearth it all. The path to glory was open to everyone since there were no restrictions in the labyrinth. As they watched the sunset, Yuno felt relieved that the true Demon King was dead and the Age of Fear was over. They headed back to the city when an earthquake shook everything, bringing buildings down and causing people to scream. The two girls were terrified when a bright light shone upon them. Suddenly, Lucelles found herself in the grip of a robot. She whimpered in pain as it forcefully removed her hand. Yuno watched in horror as the machine proceeded to do the same to Lucelles' other limbs. When the robot turned its attention to Yuno upon her plea to stop, she quickly escaped before Robert could kill her. Yuno was suddenly knocked back by the footstep of a giant robot. Looking up, she saw smaller robots emerging from it. She turned to witness the death and destruction around her and wished for her demise. She realized that even though the true Demon King had been defeated, their troubles were far from over. Her cries for it all to end caught the attention of one of the machines as it approached her. Yuno used her exploding sparks ability to shoot arrowheads that instantly took it out. She grew frustrated that defeating it had been so easy, realizing that she could have saved her friend. More robots heard the commotion and began to surround her. Despite her attempts to fight them off, their numbers overwhelmed her. Yuno gave up and told them to finish her off while she ranted. All the robots were cut down, and our hero finally introduces himself. His name is Saojiru, and he's wondering why Yuno is so hyped about going to heaven. He's telling her she'll be missing out since things are about to get real fun for us humans. Yuno is dumbfounded at what this ugly can do, especially with just a banged up practice sword. She's wondering if he's what they call a visitor, but Saojiru ain't too keen on being called that. Yuno's even more shocked when she sees how many of these enemies Saojiru has taken down. He's just eager to check out the machines in this world too, and he's saying no number of them can stand a chance against his sword. Our boy accidentally chows down on some poisonous plant and asks for some food, but Yuno's like, just get the hell out of here. No matter how strong he is, the town's a lost cause. Our boy is just wondering why she's so worked up. Yuno spills the beans that there's something even scarier wrecking the town, and his puny sword won't cut it. This thing is freaking gigantic, and Yuno explains that the labyrinth turned out to be a massive golem. She thinks it's a monster made to take down the true Demon King, But our hero ain't scared one bit. Our boy smashes another robot that's about to attack Yuno and keeps babbling about food. Yuno has food, so Saojiru figures that's a perfect trade-off. Yuno's clueless about what exchange he's on about, but she agrees to give him breakfast if he takes care of the massive hunk of metal wrecking the town. Yuno's wondering just who the heck this guy is, so he spills the beans that he's the last Yaju on Earth. We find out he's a visitor from a whole different world, nothing like Earth. Our boy is impressed with Yuno's word art when she summons the arrowhead and wants her to teach him. She was always taught that visitors can't use that power, since their distant world is built solely on the laws of physics. They only speak using sound, so they can't grasp it. Yuno explains that her peeps use the word arts to ask the air or objects to do stuff like move or burn. Saojiru's lost, so he's like, damn, swords are better anyway. Yuno fears that he will die, but our hero's super confident he'll come out on top. She points out that everyone's already lost their lives, so the smart move is to run away. Yuno doesn't think it's right to ask him to fight the terrifying golem, but our boy surprises her by saying it ain't about her. He just wants to fight because it will be fun. Our boy can't hold back his excitement anymore and charges straight at the beast. He takes out multiple robots, rapidly increasing his pace to a terrible level. The giant starts attacking, but he dodges and uses it to climb on top of the massive machine. It responds by shooting arrows at them, so he uses his sword as his anchor. It also releases standard golems to attack him, but he uses them as platforms to get back up as he cuts them down. The golem opens its chest and starts casting a huge fire spell towards Saojiru. Yuno is stunned that the machine can use fire attacks. Our boy evades the blast by leapfrogging from one golem to the next encounter by slicing the top of the giant's head. The machine is still functional and switches to a physical attack. As its punch closes in on Saojiru, it's revealed that the founder of Yaju Shinkage created the muted war technique, allowing one to dodge the opponent's attack, steal their weapon, and use their momentum against them. Saojiru demonstrates this by dodging the punch while cutting the golem's arm. This changes the punch's trajectory, causing it to hit the machine's other arm, which destroys its core located near its arm. Our boy slowly descends as the creature collapses to the ground. The other golems are deactivated since their host has been taken out. Yuno can't believe that he managed to defeat it. She wonders if the Great Labyrinth started moving because of Saojiru as a reaction to his strength. The thought that Saojiru might have intentionally activated the golem just to fight it comes into her mind. Saojiru interrupts to inform her that the giant golem was more fun instead of finding one piece. He reveals that if one puts themselves in the mind of the people who created the golem, it's easy to discover where their seal of life is located. Saojiru points out that they wouldn't put the seal in the legs because they're too close to the ground. The waist has too many bolts. The chest houses the blaster, and since it attacked first with its left arm, the only possible place for the seal is the right arm. After giving that post-battle analysis, he says goodbye, but she stops him and gives him the promised food. Saojiru was so caught up in the fight that he forgot he was hungry. Yuno watches him and realizes that she hates strong people because they make her life feel insignificant. She knows she must find something to support herself if she wants to survive. Saojiru is already looking for something else fun to entertain himself with. Yuno suggests that he head to Orisha. It's become the biggest city around, and Saojiru just wants to know if there are strong folks there. He's glad to hear that there are, and Yuno explains that Orisha is gathering heroes from all over the world because they're planning something big. Yuno's thoughts turn dark as she contemplates how she can bring meaning to her life. She wants Saojiru to go to Orisha because she's sure there are people there who can take him down. There is the second general of Orisha, who everyone knows well. His name is Roskle the Absolute. There is also Krafnir near the Hatch of Truth, who speaks of mastering an unknown fifth system of word arts. There's also Kazuki the Black Tone, the visitor who freed the Great Ice Fortress 9 years ago, and Toroa the Awful, who hides away in the distant White Mountains. Oh, and there's Luknoka the Winter, who nobody has ever seen. Yuno is determined to dig deeper into Saojiru and discover what this distant world is all about. Yuno offers to be Saojiru's guide to Orisha, and he likes the look on her face. Saojiru agrees to her offer and reminds her that she can do whatever she wants from now on. She's free. Yuno contemplates her newfound freedom. She's lost everything, but that just makes her feel like she can do something crazy. We then learn that Saojiru can't be contained in his reality. He's the last swordsman, known as Saojiru the Willow Sword. While exploring the land, the two stumble upon several machines with holes in them. This makes it clear to our boy that someone was only after their life steals, and he finds it amusing that there's another one out there. Yuno is a bit concerned, but Saojiru is very excited. But that's where this video ends. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel. thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.